Hello everyone and welcome to Gurun's classes. It's already 8 p.m. in the evening and thought of making this video, okay, for you all only. I hope you all will go through these videos, okay, and then revise it again and again, and if you have any problem you can ask me. Anyways, today we are doing is photosynthesis. Now what do we mean by photosynthesis? Photo means light, okay, and synthesis means to put together, okay. Now with the help of light, when all things are put together, then a product is formed, okay, and that process is known as photosynthesis. Now what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is a process by which green plants, photosynthesis is a process by which green plants can make food. The food here is glucose with the help of, okay, sunlight, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide and water to produce glucose, okay, and oxygen gas. Oxygen gas is the byproduct. So say suppose if the question comes, what is the byproduct of photosynthesis, then you should write oxygen is the byproduct. You can write water vapor also, okay. Oxygen is the byproduct especially, and what is the end product? Then the end product is glucose, C6H12O6. Got my point? So what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants make food with the help of sunlight, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, and water to give glucose and oxygen and water vapor. Okay, so here we have is the, okay, the equation 6CO2 plus 12H2O. Give an arrow and on top you write sunlight and chlorophyll. You can write wherever you want. Okay, and then equals to is C6H12O6 is glucose plus 6H2O plus 6O2. O2 should be, okay, denoted with up arrow. So if the question comes, give write the equation of photosynthesis, okay, then you should write this equation, it might come. Fine. Now for photosynthesis, what do we need is sunlight. Sunlight is from the sun only, okay, sunlight is from the sun. So light is necessary for photosynthesis. Regarding that, we'll do the experiment in the next video. Now water is from the soil. So regarding water and sunlight, okay, we understood. Fine, no problem. Now chlorophyll. Chlorophyll means it is present in the leaf. Now where in the leaf? So I have taken here one leaf, okay. So here is one leaf. Now each leaf is made up of what? Now the leaf is made up of what? Plant cells. So there are many plant cells. So I have taken out here one plant cell, and you know very well the outermost part is the cell wall. We have the cell membrane also. This is the cytoplasm. The blue one is the nucleus. The nucleus is also there. Okay, for just to denote you people, these sausage shape, okay, cell organelles, they all are mitochondria, and these green ones are chloroplast. Okay, what are they? They are plastid. They are green colored plastid, which are known as chloroplast. Fine. So that means plant cells. Okay, leaves are made of a plant cell. Plant cell contains chloroplast. Now let us see chloroplast. Question might come: draw a neat diagram of chloroplast and label its various parts. Then, if we see one chloroplast, then a chloroplast is made up of two membranes. So outer membrane and inner membrane. Okay. So the side one I tried to give a 3D look. So this is the outer membrane and this is the inner membrane, right? Okay, this is the two membrane. These are the two membrane, and okay, when I cut the chloroplast, then we will see like this. Okay, and then inside we find is biscuits like structures, okay, which are known as what you how to draw is draw lines like this and then curve the lines like this. Yeah. Okay, so these stack is known as grana. Okay, and each one is known as thylakoid. How to make like this here? This is thylakoid. Okay, now this is what? Thylakoid. Thylakoid. Fine. Now there are many granas. There are many grana, okay, and they are interlinked with each other by what? Lamellae, okay, or fret. Lamellae, lamellae, or fret also. So here is one grana, and they are united with what? Lamellae. Fine. In class 11, you have to study the function of this grana and the lamella also. Fine. Now, this grana is present in stroma. This jelly-like structure in which the grana is present is known as stroma. So, yeah. Just like in a plant cell, we have a cytoplasm, and in the cytoplasm, the cellular organelles are there. Likewise, in the chloroplast, the outer and the inner membrane is there, and then the stroma is there. And in the stroma, we have the grana, okay, present, and the grana are united by what? Lamellae. Now, each grana is a pile of thylakoids or stack of thylakoids. So that means one is thylakoid, and then a group is known as grana. So I have taken out one grana here, okay, and then one is known as thylakoid. Let us cut this thylakoid. When we cut this thylakoid, then this is one thylakoid which is also cut, okay, vertically. Then what do we find here is there is one small lumen. This is known as lumen. Centrally of the, you no need to go in detail in class 10, but then also, okay, this knowledge might help you in class 11. Now, inside in the central portion of this thylakoid, there is a cavity which is known as lumen. Okay, very important in class 11 because you have to do photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. Okay, at that time you will come to know about the function of lumen. And then on the inner wall of, that means not in the center, but on the inner wall, of this thylakoid, these green dots I have made is, they all are chlorophyll molecules. So that means the sunlight, now see, the sunlight has to strike the leaf, it has to enter the cell wall, okay, and it has to pierce the cell wall, enter the chloroplast, okay, then it has to enter the inner membrane, outer membrane, inner membrane, and then it has to go and hit the grana, and it has to hit the thylakoid, then ultimately it has to hit the chlorophyll molecule. So that means, try to understand, in the next video we'll come to know, okay, that means the leaf really has to be very thin. Thinner the leaf, better is photosynthesis. Why? Because the sunlight can pierce deep beneath the leaf, so that it can hit the chlorophyll, and when the chlorophyll molecule, receive the sunlight, they become activated, they get activated. Now that activated chlorophyll molecule now has a potential to do something. Okay, so in the next video we'll with the help of a flowchart we'll study that. Okay, so that chlorophyll molecule gets excited, and then the sunlight is absorbed. Now sunlight is absorbed by this excited chlorophyll. As a result, okay, this water is split up, okay, and then this carbon dioxide is united with the hydrogen and glucose is formed, and in that context oxygen gas is produced. So overall this is, okay, a balanced equation of photosynthesis. So I hope a question might come, okay, draw a neat diagram of chloroplast. Fine. Now next is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is present in the air. Carbon dioxide is present in the air. Now this carbon dioxide has to enter the leaf again. Okay, then only photosynthesis can take place. Now carbon dioxide, how will carbon dioxide enter the leaf? Now we know very well, in the leaf we have is small pores. Okay, small pores are there, and those pores are known as what? Stomata. Yes or no? Fine. Now stomata is the structure from where carbon dioxide enters and oxygen gas come out, and from there only, in that same, during that process, water also transpires out, which we have already studied in the previous chapter, and then water also transpires out in the form of water vapor, which is known as transpiration. So that means stomata is that structure from where gases exchange take place and transpiration also take place. So it has two functions. So how does carbon dioxide enters and oxygen exits out? Okay, so that is through the opening and the closing of the stomata. Now what are stomata? Stomata, actually they are minute pores which are present on the upper and the lower surface of the leaf. The upper surface is known as the dorsal surface, and the lower surface is known as the ventral surface. Okay, normally the upper surface contains less stomata, and then the lower ventral surface contains more stomata, which we have already studied in the previous chapter in terms of transpiration. Okay, now if you see here I have drawn, okay, now if you see stomata consists of kidney shaped guard cells. Okay, kidney shaped guard cells. So that means here, okay, now this is one guard cell which is kidney shaped cell. Okay, and It's a plant cell, okay, and this is the nucleus. Now the peculiar thing about this guard cell is the cell wall, the uneven cell wall. What do we mean by that? The outermost, this is a plant cell only, as you know very well. It's a plant cell. Normally, it's not necessary that all plant cells should be rectangular in shape. No. Okay. Like if you talk about parent gametous cells, they are polygonal in shape. Got my point? Okay. So likewise, or if you talk about endodermis, they all are barrel shaped cells. So likewise, guard cells, they are kidney shaped cells, and then the outermost cell wall is uneven. That means on the inner side the guard cell wall is thick. On the inner side the cell wall is thick. So that means you can write here thick cell wall, and then the outer part is thin. The outer part is thin. The blue one is nucleus. It's a plant cell. So that is why, being a plant cell, okay, it has a chloroplast also. Sorry. Okay. It has chloroplast. So let me draw chloroplast here. Okay. And normally there are two such guard cells present. Okay. So that means here. So this is the inner thick wall. Okay, and the outer thin wall, fine. And then we have is the nucleus, right? And then we have is the plastid, fine. And where are they present? They are present on the upper surface and the lower surface, surrounded by what? Epidermal cells. Surrounded by epidermal cells. So these all are what? Epidermal cells. Okay, I can mention here. Wait to write epidermal cells. Epi means above, derma means skin. Okay. So now, regarding the opening and the closing of the stomata, there are two theories. Okay. In the reduced syllabus of this 2021, there wasn't sugar concentration theory. Only potassium ion concentration theory was there. Till now, we haven't received any information from the council. This year also there might be a reduction in the syllabus, but then also let us study both the theories. That is, one theory is known as sugar concentration theory, another theory is known as potassium ion concentration theory. Now what do we mean by sugar concentration theory? Now try to understand. I have made a flow chart here. See, first you have to understand the basic structure, the diagram, the basic structure of the stomata. Guard shaped cells, number one. Number two, cell wall is unevenly thick. That means the inner side is thick, outer side is thin. This is very important to know. And number three, the chloroplast. Fine. Now, sugar concentration theory. During the daytime, sunlight is there. So guard cells photosynthesizes. During the daytime, each guard cell will photosynthesize. Okay, during the daytime, each guard cell will photosynthesize. Now, when they photosynthesize, what is prepared? Glucose is prepared in the guard cell. Each guard cell will prepare what now? Glucose, because of chloroplast. Glucose is prepared in the guard cell. When glucose is prepared in the guard cell becomes hypertonic. You know very well now what is a hypertonic solution. So guard cells become hypertonic compared to the other adjacent cells. When guard cell becomes hypertonic, water is absorbed from the adjacent cells, adjacent gaps, adjacent tissues. Okay, but which is known as endoosmosis. You know very well, we have already studied that in absorption by roots. So when on endoosmosis take place, then water goes inside the guard cell, and then guard cell becomes turgid. Guard cell swells up. When guard cell swells up, okay, then there is a pressure which is known as turgor pressure. That means the guard cell swells up and there is a pressure from inside to outside. Okay, so what happens is that the outer thin wall expands. The outer thin wall expands. Fine, but the inner thick wall, okay, prevents itself from expanding. So as a result, it contracts. It contracts. they contract. So I am showing you down arrow. Okay, they contract. So the outer thin wall expands, but the inner thick wall contracts. So when contraction takes place from both the side, then what happens is that our aperture is created. Okay, and that aperture, and when that aperture is created, the stomata opens. So that means what happens at that time? Gases exchange take place. So that means oxygen come out and carbon dioxide enter. Okay, uneven expansion and contraction take place. As a result, stomata open up. Okay, so this is sugar concentration theory. Now another theory that we have is potassium ion concentration theory. Potassium ion concentration theory, which we have already studied in absorption by root, that is active transport. Here, guard cells absorbs potassium ion from adjacent cells with the help of energy. Here, I forgot to write, that is active transport. Let me open a bracket here. Active, ACTIVE, active transport, which is known as what? Active transport. Okay. Now, actually, what happens? Guard cells, these guard cells, they absorb potassium ion. They absorb what? Potassium ion from the adjacent cells. What is absorbed? Potassium ion is absorbed from the adjacent cells against the gradient. So potassium ion itself cannot come. So guard cells, okay, it is a theory. Guard cells, they use energy to pull the potassium ion within themselves, which is known as active transport. Now when potassium ion is pulled inside, guard cells become hypertonic. Not my point? When they become hypertonic, then same thing you have to repeat. When they become hypertonic compared to the adjacent cells, okay, then what happens? Endosmosis takes place. That is why I haven't written here. Endosmosis causes the guard cell to become turgid. Turgid causes uneven expansion of the cell wall. That means the outer thin wall expands and the inner thick wall contracts. As a result, the stomata open up. So question might come, explain the sugar concentration theory or potassium ion concentration theory. Let us not wait for the reduced syllabus. Let us study all. If the syllabus gets reduced, then any of the theory might come in your exam. Okay. Now, please study both the theories. And next is question might come in the section B, a diagram based question might come whereby this diagram might be there or this diagram might be there, and you have to identify whether the stomata has opened up or it has closed up. So here this is closed stomata, here the gap is more, this is open stomata. Got my point? Okay, and then the labeling might also be there, the thin wall, thick wall, okay, and then the nucleus, whatever, and the epidermal cells, that you can easily answer. Okay, so dear students, kindly go through this, kindly revise it time and again. Okay, you have to revise whatever you study. If you don't revise within 24 hours, 84% of the matter, whatever you have studied, you will forget. Okay, so kindly go through it. If you have any problem, you can ask me. So thank you very much.